how accurate is the Zillow Zestimate? You're listening to Home Sellers Advantage. I'm your host, Aaron Zapata.
And I'm your other host, Todd Anderson. We are the Bald Brothers team at Impact Realty Group with Real Broker, and we are here to give you the Home Sellers Advantage.
You can find us online at www.baldbrothers.tv. Again, that's baldbrothers.tv.
Or you can call us at 833-305-BALD. That's 833-305-2253.
Well, that's a question we get all the time, don't we, Todd?
It is a question we get all the time.
And it is one that we are going to try to answer today.
Yeah, so we thought toward the end of the year, this is a question we get all the time. And by the way, we want to say, as the Bald Brothers team, Merry Christmas to you. We are recording this like a little over a week before Christmas, and we hope and pray that you have a wonderful Christmas.
Yes, we do. I don't know. He pauses. The dramatic pause. Were we supposed to sing to them or something, Todd?
You can sing.
Okay, you actually sing.
I don't know how to sing.
Yeah, you do. He even plays the guitar, so don't let him fool you. But as we come into the end of the year here, we get a lot of people that do ask us questions about Zillow and Zestimates. Mm-hmm. And let's just frame this conversation very quickly. The A in Zillow stands for accuracy. And that's a tongue-in-cheek joke among realtors, and now it is among you.
You're saying, where is the A in Zillow? That's the whole point.
That's the point, okay? The point is that Zillow does their best to create a value. Mm-hmm. Now, the reality is that they're using math and algorithms to compare your home to other properties that are listed or are also selling off market. They buy data. They know lots of things about lots of houses. And so in their own words, in their own website, if you go to Zillow.com and then you click on /Zestimate, mm-hmm. there is a section on there where they talk about how accurate are they.
Yeah, how accurate. Well, first of all, the word estimate already tells you from the very beginning, there's a level of accuracy that's lacking. Right? I mean, right. If something's an estimate, it's just an estimate. When you get an estimate, even to get your car repaired, always assume that the price might go up, might go down right. on the repairs, but normally right. there's more damage to be found. So it is an estimate just to begin with. But when it comes to Zillow, you'll find it's quite shocking, even in their own literature, what they say about it.
Yeah. So Zillow does not have a Zestimate on every home in the country. They basically stay within the large metropolitan areas where there's a lot of data mm-hmm. because they need a lot of data to create the estimate.
In order to create that algorithm, you have to have data to work with. Yeah.
And so on their website, they have the country broken down into about 29 to 30 different markets. And here where we are in Southern California, it is the Los Angeles, Long Beach, Anaheim market. That's how they have it listed. And so basically LA, Orange County, combined is where this data is. And so they track what their estimate was, and then they track where it's sold. And so what we're talking about today is that accuracy. What's the delta? What's the differential mm-hmm. between what they said it would sell for and then what it actually sells for? Now, we're not going to go into any specifics. We're not going to look at specific homes to give this an example because they have it all summarized on their website. And we encourage you to go there and take a look at it yourself. So what does this say here?
This is saying that homes with Zestimates within 5% sales price, so within a 5% accuracy on the sales price.
So before we talk about the number, let's just, on a $2 million house, mm-hmm. 5% is $100,000.
$100,000, yeah.
Both over and or under.
Yes.
So it's a $200,000 swing.
So within that range, 100,000 over, 100,000 under. Zillow says that they are correct 81.21% of the time.
81.21%.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So let's.
So you're starting out with a wide
a B minus.
Yeah, you're starting out with a wide range, either 100,000 over, 100,000 less on a $2 million property. Obviously, if it's $1 million property, 50,000 over, 50,000 less. 5% range, but even that is only 81% of the time.
So that means that 19 point some % of the time, they are more than 5% off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, and you may say, well, 5%, that doesn't seem like much. Well, that's why Aaron used that figure, because when you're talking about real estate, 5% can be quite a bit of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And if you are banking on the fact that you're going to get this Zillow Zestimate amount, you have to rethink that.
Yeah.
You have to think, well, is it that accurate? And most people in their heart know it's not accurate.
Yeah.
Like if you know that all of your neighbors are selling for 1.4 million and for some reason Zillow has your house at 1.7, you're going to think to yourself, why is it at 1.7? Like you just like intuitively know
you should,
that what's going on in your neighborhood if you're paying attention. So
yeah, and you posed a question to me right before we started.
I did.
Pretending you were a surgeon, right?
Yes. So Todd, pretend I'm a surgeon, and I'm Todd. We're going to go under surgery here, but I just want to let you know we are within 5%, 81% of the time. So there is a good chance that we're going to be more than 5% off. Are we going under?
Yeah. Probably not.
Probably not.
All right. I said, hey, I'm going to give you this water. I've cleaned it. And it should be 95% pure. There's an 81% chance that is 95% pure.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't want to drink that water. Now, obviously, we're being silly with different examples, but there is just a wide variance when it comes to real estate.
Yeah. And we do have to keep in mind, too, that realtors don't know where the market is either. But nobody knows where the market is because nobody knows what is the exact dynamics when you put your house on the market.
Yeah.
And anytime you put your house on the market, it's a certain day of the week. There are a certain number of buyers in the market at that time. There are a certain number of buyers looking at that price point, and interest rates are where they are.
Yeah.
Supply and demand, like it all is very specific. It's always changing.
Yeah, and Zillow is not capable of taking into account the things that a realtor would be able to advise you on. The most obvious would be the condition of the property. If it's comparing properties that are in turnkey condition and maybe your property needs a lot of work, or conversely, it's comparing a lot of market data for homes that were a dive and yours has all the upgrades. I mean, it could go both ways. It doesn't, your home might be adjacent to a very busy intersection. You could be in a school zone, loading and unloading. There's a lot of different things that can affect the marketability of your home that Zillow doesn't necessarily take into account.
So, Todd, here is where they are within 99% accuracy.
Okay.
That is 99% of the time, they are within 20% of the actual sales price. So on that $2 million property, 99% of the time, they're going to get it right within 20%. So that could drop down to 1.6 to 2.4.
Yeah,
it's a $400,000 swing.
That's a wide variance.
Both ways.
Yeah, you like that 99% accuracy, but then when you see it's based off of a 20% variance in the sale price, that's not so good.
Yeah, and as you look at all the other different metropolitan areas, you realize that within that 5% range, Los Angeles is on the kind of right in the middle on that perspective of 81%.
Yeah.
In some markets, they're as high as 92%, like in Las Vegas. And then in other markets like New York, they're down to 72%. Okay, so there are some better areas where they're more accurate, but in our area, they're just frankly not that accurate.
Yeah.
And it does require the help of an expert opinion, somebody who is kind of knows where the market is going, to help you determine what we believe we can get for your home. So the other thing on here is they do have an off-market accuracy. So these are properties that sell off-market. These are properties that they, if you go online and you put in your address, it'll say off-market. This home is not currently for sale, and it has a Zestimate next to your name. Now, if you sell it off-market in our area, they are within 5% of the sales price only 40% of the time.
Wow.
Right.
That's amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's keep that in mind.
It's like the wild, wild west out here.
Right. So when your home is off market and they don't know anything about it, there's no new photos, there's no updates, that Zestimate is likely only within 5% of the actual value 5% of the time.
Yeah.
Because when we put properties on the market, the Zestimate automatically adjusts based on this new information. So to exaggerate the point, I mean, it just makes the point even more clear. Like Zillow is not your best friend when it comes to telling you what your value is.
Yeah. And so this does create sometimes a challenge if you want to sell your home and you come to the Bald Brothers and you say, you know what, I want to get this for my home because this is what Zillow tells me my house is worth. That can be a challenge because sometimes it might set unrealistic expectations based off of what Zillow is telling you. And then you hire a professional like the Bald Brothers team. You hire us, we come over, we take a look, and we tell you information that you don't want to hear. But at the same time, we are telling you information that you need to hear based off of our expertise in the market.
So we got a call, and we buy leads from different websites, and we advertise. I should say we advertise, and then they send us leads. And we got one today, actually.
Yeah,
that
talked to him
said,
today.
hey, this person wants to sell their home, and they are available at this time. Do you want to go? Yes, we want to go. So I got the information, and like we always do, we want to make sure we call and confirm, and we want to make sure that this person is really the person that is online. And so all of that checked out. I'm on the phone, and I'm on the speakerphone. Todd's listening. And this seller says to us, well, I don't want to waste anybody's time, but I keep getting really low ball offers. I keep getting just offers that are really low. And
it sounded like he had spoken to other realtors.
Yeah.
So we were not his first real estate professionals he'd spoken to.
Right. And he said, I want my magic number. And we're like, okay. So what I did is I said, I'll call you back. Let me run some numbers, because he wouldn't give us the number right off the bat.
We had to force it out of him.
And so I decided.
I shouldn't say force it out of him, but we had to ask a few times before he actually gave us what the quote-unquote magic number was.
Right. So he did give it to us on the very first phone call, because he did say, look, I don't want to waste anybody's time. I don't want to waste your time. And we don't want to waste anybody's time either.
Yeah.
Okay. So Todd and I, when we talk with sellers, we want to make sure that there is a realistic understanding of what market value is. Mm-hmm. And so we follow different people on Instagram and on YouTube. And this one agent posted her true story. And she went and met with a seller. She spent about 2 hours going over market data with them. And she recommended a list price of $350,000 less than the seller wanted to list for. Mm-hmm. And she didn't end up getting the listing. She did not get it. Another realtor took the listing.
And they listed it at the price that the seller wanted to sell it for.
Right. And so she said this, I could have smiled, agreed, and I could have taken the listing, because saying yes is easy. But yes wouldn't have helped them sell their home. Instead, she spent the 2 hours walking them through the data, the days on market, the buyer psychology, how overpricing leads to stale listing, overpricing leads to stale listing. Mm-hmm. And you know what? They listed it with the other agent at the seller's price. That agent got a shiny new sign in the yard, but she got peace of mind knowing that she stood by the truth. And now 6 months later, that home is still for sale. It's priced closer to where she suggested. And she says this, an agent who tells you what you want to hear will list your home. An agent who tells you what you need to hear will sell it.
Yeah, that's
great.
I
think that was cool.
That's great.
We thought that was cool. So,
yeah.
An agent who tells you what you want to hear will list your home. Mm-hmm. An agent who tells you what you need to hear will sell it.
Yeah. So with this example of the gentleman that we spoke to, he had a magic number he wanted us to come back at. Right after we got off the phone, we did some market research on the properties in the area, having no idea of what the condition of his home is. We assumed the benefit of the doubt that his home is turnkey, great condition, ready to go, even though he told us it needs some work.
Yeah.
He told us it needs some work. But even at that, we did some market data, and we realized it's not even close to where his magic number was.
He gave us a magic number range, and we were over $100,000 off the low number in his range. Mm-hmm. And the market data speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And you can't make up a number and just, realtors aren't magicians.
Yeah.
Right?
We're not magicians. We're not Merlin. Yeah. We have to work within the confines of reality. We have to work within the confines of what's happening in the market, and we cannot change the market. All we can do is use the market information to best represent you and get the best price for your home in the existing market.
That's right. And so perhaps your question when you started this podcast or watched this on YouTube was, how accurate is Zillow? Well, they give you their own numbers. So go look up your market and you can make your own determination. They're pretty off when it comes to reality.
Yeah.
You know, and realtors can be off too. So, but a realtor at least has an understanding of what's on the market, what's in escrow, and what is going to be closing, because we also have data that are that's not published yet. Like we know what the neighbor's house, if we're listing it, is going to sell for, and that's going to affect everybody's Zestimate.
Yeah.
And so you want to talk with people that understand the market in which you live, and they can help you with pricing strategies.
That's right.
So, and pricing is a strategy.
There's a whole strategy behind it, and we would love to meet with you if you're thinking about selling your home, to go over our strategy. We have our own proprietary method and strategy to sell your home, and we think it works very well in the majority of the cases to get the best possible price for your home. But there definitely is a marketing pricing strategy that, once again, utilizes the actual market data in real time, not market data for 5 years from now, not market data from 5 years ago or a year ago, market data for what's happening in your market right now.
Absolutely. So that's our show for today. We hope that you have found it helpful. If you did find this helpful, we'd like you to like and subscribe and share this with a friend or a neighbor or somebody that is in your relationship circle that is thinking about selling, because I'm sure you have also looked at Zillow, and we love your comments as well. So thank you for listening today. May you have a very Merry Christmas, and may God bless you and your family during this holiday season. And until next time, God bless. Thanks for listening to the Home Sellers Advantage. The Bald Brothers team is a licensed DBA of Real Broker, licensed by the California Department of Real Estate, number 02022-092. Again, we do not give any real estate, legal, or financial advice. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can call us at 833-305-BALD, or you can reach us online at baldbrothers.tv. Equal housing opportunity.